Imagine creating a life that feels blissful, joy-filled, and magical, simply by setting an intention and then dreaming it into being with a group of like-minded individuals using our innate creative genius for the good of all. Welcome to Sweet Tea Channeling, a safe and sacred space where we will explore and play together, creating a delightful and insightful reality that can inspire us in our everyday lives. In a sense, we will be dreaming up a life we feel honored to live in. My name is Debbie Pokornik, and I'm here with my beautiful soul sister, Susan Hoskins, and together we will be your hosts. All we ask of you is that you enter this space with an open mind and allow everything that is said here to flow through your heart, where you can really feel into it. Take a sip, if you will, and savor it a bit before deciding what you think of the taste, temperature, or texture.
To do this, we ask that you consider removing the backpack you carry with you. In our invisible backpacks, we carry all the past hurts, disappointments, anger, fear, everything from the so-called past, which really is just an illusion. So imagine yourself setting the backpack down now and entering into our sacred space where we are fully present in this glorious moment.
We are all brilliantly unique and intricately connected. In this space, we want you to feel free to speak your truth with love, respect, and compassion for that which was shared by others. Each week when we meet, Susan will share a freshly channeled segment from her spirit guide, Christopher. And once done, we'll pause for a moment or so that each person can jot down anything that came up for them during the reading. So any whisperings from your soul, any chords that were struck, any threads you'd like to follow, perhaps tied to a vision that you've had, or maybe heading us in a brand new direction. As each new piece is added, we will allow it to bring in a new flavor until we have a beautiful bouquet of tastes, unique to us, to this reading, and to the reality that we are creating together. We will end in about an hour by closing our sacred space together. At least that is how we envision it flowing right now. So let's begin by opening sacred space, followed by Susan's reading.
Just take a moment to really be centered in this beautiful present moment. Let's just take 3 glorious deep breaths together. Inhaling spirit and exhaling anything that's not serving us in this moment. Inhale and exhale. And one last inhale and exhale. And now we call in our beautiful array of angels, guides, and master teachers. And we call in our own beautiful higher self, our Holy Spirit. And we recognize that we are one with our higher self, and one with all the array of angels and guides and teachers here simply to inspire and assist. And now I begin. Feel into this. I am pure love and consciousness. This is a wonderful and audacious project, and we are honored to be of service. And yes, this is a collective energy, and you may call it Christopher if you like. And of course, Sammy, the spirit of Hoomadhi, will always come out to play when asked. Energy is such an exquisite and delightful phenomenon because it is fluid. It has no boundaries or walls or concepts or any preconceived notions. What you are doing and being asked to do is to create the new dimension of living experience that you wish to embody right here where you are in the physical dimension of Earth. You do not need to go anywhere. nor are you meant to accept in your imagination and dreams, for this is true reality, where all things are possible. Yes, you are being asked specifically to help people journey from one consciousness of experience to another. It is that simple. You do not have to catch a boat, plane, train, or rocket ship, for the only place you are going is within your own heart and mind to access those realms you didn't even know existed within you. For you embody the entire universe right within your own sacred heart. So this is where we begin with the story. Who are you and why are you here is how you began with the way of the one. But we have come so far since the beginning book. This is meant to show you how much more you are than you ever dreamed, not just with the powers of creation inside of you, but because of you and your divine blueprint of how you are meant to be and express the source, the Godhead, the creator of all that is. You are meant to embody and express as you all that is as you. Isn't that grand? And the best way to begin to do that is to clear out or remove anything that does not serve this high of highest purposes, or assignment if you prefer. There is much to do to dream a new existence into being. But if not you, then who? If not us together, then who? If not now, then when? You have and are equipped with every single thing that you need to complete this sacred mission, which ironically will not be completed in your lifetimes and truly ever, for it is ever changing as its magnificence grows and evolves with the kaleidoscope of colors that you imagine. So yes, invite all of those into the sacred circle of delight where we create, we paint the picture, we write the music, we create the book of our shared and beautiful experiences, which are meant to morph into even greater experiences of beauty and richness, goodness, and most especially the delight and joy of pure love. So to begin our work, seek to come into this with as pure a consciousness as possible, with no expectations, agendas, or boxes of any kind. Just be. Imagine again, looking up to the heavens and just allowing your imagination not only to see the stars and the moon at night, but to imagine stars and many more moons beyond what you see. For creation is so much more than you know. We are not separate, and no one is attempting to keep anything of good from you. It is simply up to you to reach up and touch the stars and beyond with your mind and pureness of heart. So imagine being able to do that now. Imagine being able to cleanse your beautiful earth of negativity, hatred, division, and animosity. Imagine that you can do this with the thought of a refreshing cascade of colorful golden and white light, followed by the kaleidoscope of pure creativity and beingness, and the purity of only the greatest good for all. Imagine being able to do just this, for this is how you begin to come out of the stagnant pond to find clear waters now that you are drinking from the ever-flowing river of pure water, consciousness, and delight. You can decree that a shower of such delight rains down upon the earth to begin the cleansing of your new reality. This is where you begin, and we begin to imagine together. Imagine cleansing your mind of any limiting thoughts and beliefs. Cleanse your palate and your digestive system and everything about your being to the best of your ability to begin bit by bit, filling up with the love you need, the nourishment you need, and the awareness you need to begin to understand just how magnificent and divine you are, right where you are, in the body that you are in the location and circumstances where you find yourself, and at the point in your life where all your past experiences are left where they belong, in the illusion of the past, as you take only the goodness of awareness you have gained about yourself and others. Imagine that beautiful cleansing shower of light and love falling down all around you now. Imagine the same for those you love, those you know, those you don't know, the place where you are, and all the places where you are not, but others are. See the animals drinking of the divine water, the plants, the minerals, every single aspect of creation, getting the most refreshing and cleansing bath that you can imagine, where the temperature is perfect and the water perfectly bright and clear, for this is where we begin to create anew. Wash away the old and whatever no longer serves you. Know that you carry with you all the good that you have achieved in past lifetimes. Everything you have ever been and ever will be is carried within you. Yet, you are the one who creates in this moment to be the best of you, right now, right here, right now. So for now, simply bask in this beautiful cleansing water and know that it is real, for together we can create an existence of love and joy, delight and fulfillment, exactly where you are in the moment. And it will be this force of love and oneness that will guide you every step of the way in this physical life that you have chosen. For now, we will leave you refreshing yourself in this beautiful cascade of cleansing spiritual waters, filled with the hope and promise of more love, joy, hope and promise for you and all those who inhabit this beautiful and magnificent planet, Mother Earth. We let this be so, and so it is. Amen.
Beautiful. So one of the things that came up for me is there's a little bit of bookkeeping, or housekeeping, I should say, from that. And one of them is there was comments in there about the Way of the One. That is a book that Susan has written. It's a beautiful book, a wonderful accompaniment to what we are doing here, if you feel so inspired to get that. But you also don't need to know that piece. You don't have to. The other piece that came up was Hoomadhi. And we have not announced Hoomadhi yet to the world. So Susan, would you like to say a little bit about Hoomadhi?
Oh, Debbie, I'll need you to come in too. We've been working together for a year now, knowing that we were going to create something really special. And the card that we pulled that we've carried with us was the cosmic egg of birthing. And it did indeed birth in April. And we were hoping to be given a name for this wonderful community we're building together. And the name that came to us that we love is Hoomadhi. Yes.
The one other thing I think we need to talk about a little bit is the kaleidoscope, because a lot of people don't talk about kaleidoscopes all the time like you and I do. And so is there something you'd like to say about the kaleidoscope?
Yeah, kaleidoscope has been very important to us in recent months, because if you've ever remembered being a kid and turning that beautiful kaleidoscope, you see so many brilliant colors. And as the colors ebb and flow and merge, they take on new dimension, new hues, and different shapes and colors. And that's what we're really creating together. And Debbie and I see it too, even in our work together, because in many ways we're very similar and in many ways we're not, but we complement each other beautifully. And when we are bouncing our ideas off one another, we envision it as a colored ball. And we bounce against each other and it creates a whole different color. So that's really the colors of everybody coming into this is our kaleidoscope. And every single person who comes into this space with us to create this existence is bringing their own beautiful color into it. And it's that, the richness of colors of all of us, because even though we're one consciousness, if you will, one life, each of us is very unique. So we invite people into our sacred circle to share your beautiful essence and colors with us. That's what we're creating.
Yes. Yes. And along with that, I mean, as we bring our bouncing balls and bounce them together, mine is blue, every shade of blue you can imagine. Susan's is purple, and every shade of purple you can imagine. And that doesn't mean you can't have blue or purple, because there's so many beautiful shades. But if you've been drawn to this, you have likely had your own little visions, your own little snippets of the reality you believe the world could be, of where we're headed. Maybe you've dreamt about how it might feel. And that is all part of the ball, if you will, that you bring to throw with ours to create this kaleidoscope. So it's not my kaleidoscope, it's not Susan's, it's not even Hoomadhi's. It is ours. It is something so much bigger than us. And so that's what we're creating, is a kaleidoscope of colors. And oh my gosh, it's so exciting and so brilliant. Just the idea of things changing, of things not being what you see or what you think they are, that nothing is static. And that is what the new reality is all about. It's not what we think it is.
Right.
It is changing. It is growing. I'm wondering if you want to read a little bit again from the part about the refreshing cascade, where it started coming into these beautiful, pure cleansing waters.
Sure.
It's very
Sure.
exciting.
All right. Let's see. Okay, I'll start with this paragraph because this was also important about reaching up to the stars and beyond. So, we are not separate, meaning our guides, our angels, our master teachers, Debbie, me, all of us, we're not separate. We're all one. And no one is attempting to keep anything of good from you. I love that because I think many of us have grown up thinking that somehow a deity might be keeping our good from us. It is simply up to you to reach up and touch the stars and beyond with your mind and pureness of heart. So imagine being able to do that now. Imagine being able to cleanse your beautiful earth of negativity, hatred, division, and animosity. Imagine that you can do this with the thought of a refreshing cascade of colorful golden and white light, followed by the kaleidoscope of pure creativity and beingness, and the purity of only the greatest good for all. I'll stop there so we can talk about that.
Perfect. 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 Yes. So one of the things that Susan and I play around with and have played around with is looking at the stars, looking at the heavens, and seeing it as so much more. Like, not we're here and it's there, and that we are separate. And so I love how that came through. The reason Susan and I play with it is because Sammy has asked us to do it, to really notice that. And because we're able to do it, we're able to recognize that, you know what? This is not like I'm here and there's the trees and there's the skies and there's the star and we're all separate. We are all one.
Mm-hmm.
And yet we are all unique.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, it's such a fun piece to bounce around. But I have to say, it's kind of like dreams. You know, you wake up from an incredible dream and you want to tell people about it because it was so incredible. And as you go to tell them, you realize, huh, I can't really capture it because it's the essence of it. It's
Right.
the way it felt. It was the colors in it that was, you know, and it's so hard to do that. So we recognize that that part is challenging.
It is, and words are limiting. And that's what I've been getting a lot lately. That I even had that experience this morning when I woke up about something that the minute I try to put it into words, it limits it because we have
Mhm.
definitions with words, we have boxes. That's what we've grown up in, even in thinking about what I love to call the I am presence or the creator of all that is. We ended up trying to box this majesty that we can't even comprehend into three little letters that many people call God.
Right.
And by so doing, because we couldn't understand, we limited it. And what we're being asked to do is not limit anything, to just have a pure heart and an open mind, to just imagine to begin that you could actually literally reach up and touch the stars, beyond the stars, beyond and be. It's incredible.
It is. It is. And I think one of the really big pieces there is that it's also not outside of us.
Exactly.
That's, I was going to say mind blowing, but it's body blowing. Oh, that
Beautiful.
sounds weird. But you know,
Yeah.
it is such a huge concept, and that's why it's important that if you feel drawn to join us, that you come with an open mind, because if you try to understand all of this and fit it into the logical schema that you've already got working in your brain, it
Mm,
you'll give yourself a headache. And that's in the best case scenario, because once you start seeing that this is so much more than what we've been led to believe. I mean, just the idea of God. And I wish we had people on with us right now. And I'm sure in the future, this discussion will come up many times because, like you said so beautifully, Susan, we are so boxed in by these viewpoints. And not just boxed in, but there's been so much fear around the idea of going outside of that box.
mhm,
And the choices seem to be either believe in God or don't believe in God.
mhm.
And yet there's another choice, and it's the one we have chosen, which is believe in God as a piece of yourself, as a
Yes.
piece of everything around you, as something so much bigger,
Mhm,
you know, but not separate from.
mhm.
Right?
So true. And I think one of the most important things in this channeling and that I've been thinking about since the channeling is that even those of us who felt the stirring of change that many people call the shift, there was a feeling that we were almost going somewhere else in order to embody heaven on earth, this beautiful thing we're creating together. And it's just so clear we're not going anywhere but in our own sacred hearts to really dream it into creation and live it. And I've been really in touch with this week that it's not a separate concept. It's not like, okay, in the moments where I'm spiritual, where I do my meditation or my channeling, I'm there. No, it's we can really be present in it all the time. And that's what's really exciting to me. We don't have to go anywhere but inside. We don't have to do anything but really have a pure heart, the deepest intention to do this for the greatest good of all, and an open mind to go beyond the boundaries that we've created for ourselves.
Yes. Yes. That is just such a profound statement right there. Um, because it brings in so many of the pieces which you and I have discussed in depth many times about, you know, that divine feminine, divine masculine, and I often talk about the divine masculine as the structure, and it also involves that more logical brain. Okay. And the divine feminine, if you have the masculine sort of as the riverbanks, then the
Mhm.
divine feminine is like the water that is surging down the river. And if you picture that, or it is the river, not surging down the river. But if you picture that, you see that some of the water is bouncing around, and some of it might be a little rapid, or some of it might be waterfalls, or some of it might be totally ferocious, like fierce and beautiful. And then some of it might just be going along. But all of it is life giving.
Mhm.
And that's what the feminine is, which is why we need to come at this from a place of an open heart and mind.
Mhm.
Because if we just try to do what we've been taught to do, which is to think things through, to figure out, prove it, if you will, then we really majorly limit ourselves. We limit ourselves to, okay, there's this one river and it goes this far, and that's it. That's all we get to see, instead of all the magical little tributaries coming into the river, going out into an ocean or a lake or whatever.
Oh, I love that. The other thing that I really loved was when Christopher said that no one is trying to keep anything from us or our good from us, because I know in my earlier adulthood, whenever things didn't work out for me or someone else, it was always that I felt the victim, always like, oh, I'm being punished, I'm not having my good. And that's just so not right. That's just so not true, because there is no being trying to keep our good from us, because our good is in us, because we are, as you said so beautifully, we are one with the creator of all that is. Uh, the creator is not outside of us doling out good. Everything is inside of us because we are one and we do carry the divine within us. So I love that little reminder.
Me too. Me too. And the other piece of what you spoke on, that I really want to highlight here, is that idea of not leaving here. Because I think even this 3D, 5D, it was just recently, like a couple of weeks ago, that I heard another person channeling and talking about the idea that, if you want to bring something into physicality, it has to be in 3D.
Mhm,
So it's so loving. It's
mhm.
not polarities. It's not this idea of good and bad and right and wrong and all of that. But you don't go somewhere to find that. You
Right.
simply pull more of that into your life. And I think that's so important for all of us to really play with in our mind, because it's not about, okay, what if this is wrong? What if what Debbie and Susan are saying, if they've just made it all up and then I look like a fool or something because, I believed it and I started to feel into it and I started to create a better life and I started to find more joy and, my life just felt so good and I helped, or I thought I helped to bring in this reality. If that was the case, what is the harm? By opening your mind and your heart, you have created a happier space for you.
Mhm,
And
in the present moment, right.
in the present moment. And by doing so, that spreads out to the people around you. So you've actually helped to create a happier space for them by
Mhm.
playing in it. I'm not sure if that made sense, but it feels very real and important to me.
Yeah, and just to continue, um, for those who are hearing this now at a later date, um, even those of us who've been on this, what we've called a spiritual path for so long, I think for many of us, there's was always this idea of, oh, we got to get out of here because things aren't working here on the earth. I'm tired of all this and the hatred and the division and the polarity. And oh, Scotty, beam me up somewhere where I can live this 5D consciousness, which really is just a beautiful state of oneness and love and intent and joy and delight and all the good you can imagine, and different ways of handling challenge that's loving and kind and not divisive. But it's not, we don't go anywhere. We don't go anywhere. It's a gift. I forget this sometimes, Debbie, because of everything we experience in physical form, whether it's what's going on in the world, our own health challenges, our aches, our pains, our aging, problems with loved ones, all of that. Oftentimes you want to escape all that.
Mm-hmm.
And I can only speak for me, I've taken for granted the great gift sometimes of being able to be in this physical body, being able to taste and smell and see and hear all that there is and experience it and grow. In thinking that I want to escape what I don't like about it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
so I'm learning in this moment just to embrace and be grateful for this experience of living right here, right now, creating this. And as Christopher said, why not? If not you, if not me, then who? If not now, then when? So it's right where we are. And now is the time.
Absolutely. And so that in itself feels like a really great place for us to actually wrap up today's sweet tea channeling, because I feel like there's so much magic in what others are going to bring forth as well. And we want you to know, if you were on this call with us, you would be completely welcome to share what's coming up for you, to ask questions, to play with ideas, to give your insights. And also, we would totally respect if you just wanted to sit and listen and take in what we're talking about. So I want to pause here and put this out for other people to see, to decide, yes, this feels like what I want to be part of. What are your thoughts on that, Susan?
Oh, I love that idea, because I think it's time to contemplate a bit more and embody a bit more of just even was shared earlier about, again, creating a beautiful way of life right now, right here, not in some distant place, not occasionally when you go into meditation, but actually living it every day. Wow. So I think that's a beautiful place to leave for now, and let people who are listening to this just think about how glorious that would be.
Yes, absolutely. And I think that it's really important with this that people understand, we're not saying you can't have a bad day or a bad moment, or you can't feel what's going through you. We want you to experience all that. Like Susan said earlier, that's why we're here as humans. We wanted to be able to hear, to taste, to feel, to smell. We wanted to have all of those different aspects of what it means to really be alive.
And I would love to share next time the experience I had this week that I haven't even shared with you yet, about what it was like to live in this consciousness, going through 14 hours in the hospital when my husband was having a heart valve replacement. It is possible to be in that space.
Nice. Attract all those good things to you. It's just so exciting. Would you like to close our sacred
I
space
would love to
today?
close it. So I invite us to close as we began by simply taking a moment to close your eyes and go within. And together, may we say a beautiful thank you for the beautiful energy that came in, the wonderful channeling. I'm so grateful for the channeling that came in and for the ideas that we've expressed, and just feel so inspired and so grateful. And so as you are listening to this now, I invite you to take whatever nuggets resonate with you to contemplate in your heart, for it is in the sacred space of your heart that all good is created. And so for today, we let this be so. And so it is until we meet again. Amen.
Amen.
Ready to help us create this magic? Send us an email at info.hoomadhi@gmail.com. hoomadi.com. That's info.hoomadhi@gmail.com.